Hi there. How about a sleep-deprived room tour?
Hello, and welcome to the room tour 2016. The lighting is atrocious, but yeah, you come in through the door, and directly on the left side you find my PlayStation 2 collection. I'm not going to show any of the individual titles. So this is PlayStation 2. That is my Dreamcast collection, which is pretty pathetic, if I say so myself. My PlayStation 3 collection that spreads out over here a bit. And then the GameCube collection, which is not very large. This houses a lot of Genesis Mega Drive games and some consoles. My Crystal Blue Xbox with two Crystal Blue controllers. My Sega Mega CD with EverDrive installed. Not sure if you can see. And some Mega CD games. My Neo Geo CD with the Forever Present Puzzle Ball. Another Mega Drive. My Neo Geo AES and my Atari 800 XL. Then there's a Super Nintendo present, an MSX system underneath a 14-inch CRT, DVD recorder, and I believe a 15-inch or perhaps even 14-inch CRT Philips JVC TV. This actually was the last TV my dad ever bought. He bought a CRT instead of a flat panel. Lovely TV, and I'm actually quite fond of it because it was my dad's choice. The Joy of Sticks, Elise's artwork, and then here is an LD C64 with 1541 Ultimate, my Nintendo 64, GameCube, VIC-20, ColecoVision with compact flash, or 121 in one USB flash multi-card. My 128 C64, another C64 C128, another C128. My portable Philips G7000 video pack, some magazines, my AES collection, and that is my Vader 2600, my PSP collection, the Wii collection, some Mega Drive, another Mega Drive. This shelf actually houses my Japanese Mega Drive collection, and you see the $6 Million Man over here. Musha, my original Xbox collection is over here. Some Wii U games, my Saturn collection, and behind the Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles Wii game. So this is my Saturn games. They go a little ways behind that as well. A spare PS3, an original Xbox, and my vertical stand for the PlayStation 4. Some boxes with peripherals, my video pack, consoles, an old G4. It's a little side table. It's my G4 Power Mac. One of my TVs, a Samsung TV that sits on top of a European NES. My Powerhouse PC, gaming PC, and a little shelving unit that I built a while ago. It's my TV, the Wii U situated next to it, some auto switching SCART RGB tools. It's underneath that black thing. That's a composite switcher, a composite component switcher, another SCART RGB auto switch, some switches, UTP switches, my Xbox 360. Sit down. Behind that is my Xbox One, with a Connect, and it has an external drive actually, and it's a 3 terabyte external drive, a PS3 Slim with 500 gigabyte hard drive, a modded PlayStation 2. It runs FreeMcBoot, and it has an installed hard drive, and also it is capable of running ISO images of the network of my NAS, which is pretty cool. I use that quite a bit. It's hooked up over component. A patched, chipped Xbox. Mainly got that for playing import Xbox games, but it also has quite a few emulators on there, which I don't use that much. I actually use the PC for that because the emulators on PCs have moved on quite considerably. My PlayStation 4 with what is it, a 2 terabyte hard drive installed recently. That stack of games over there, that's my entire physical current gen physical media collection. Here is a Pioneer receiver and a Pioneer equalizer, graphic equalizer. These shelving units, they contain consoles and some controllers and stuff. I've actually have all the controllers over here because someone is painting and I had to clear the window sills. Let me stand up. I have 4 speakers, one over here, one over here, one next to the couch, and one to the other side of the couch. This is a very nice leather comfortable couch. Side table, very nice zapper lamp. Mathieu, thank you. It's an amazing lamp. This was a broken zapper. It's not that Mathieu cannibalized a working zapper. Top loader with an EverDrive and power switches, some shelving units on top of the radiator. This is actually a Core 2 Duo machine, which I might actually, which is a side table at the moment, which I may actually put a Core i5 in that I still have. Perhaps I may actually let go of the i5. Perhaps I should. It's a I believe a 6th generation or 4th generation processor. I may actually do a raffle or something for that if I hit 2,500 subscribers. Not sure. VR set, one of the speakers. Elise's artwork. Yeah, this was pretty cool. One day I came home and Elise wanted me to go into the game room, which I did, and I totally missed this, but she hung up this this great little, well, it's quite big actually. It's a cow's head, and of course, me being very fond of cows, it's a very amazing ornament. So this actually is, well, my avatar. Of course, I have 2 Pikachus. I actually tried to get rid of the Pikachus, but even the Highlander's 11-year-old daughter, she declined. I tried to get rid of it, but I guess she was not into the Pikachu anymore. So, of course, I think everybody has this Nintendo question mark box. It's great. My limited edition Soul Calibur multi console arcade stick. It does PlayStation 2, Xbox GameCube. Excellent stick, very nice. My Duke Nukem Forever, the NES collection, and my DS and my 3DS collection. Some NES and some Super Nintendo. This is the 1000 subs t-shirt box that the wife made. This was actually for my original channel, way before this channel. It bears my own name. It's available on YouTube still, and it houses more vacation type personal videos. Here is my tape collection, Commodore 64 Spectrum tapes, MSX cartridges, ColecoVision classics. A lot of this actually is the Electric Adventures shelf. A lot of stuff that Tony gave me, sent me, is actually on here. So this is at some point going to be the dedicated Electric Adventures shelf, and I quite like it actually. Then my boxed NES collection. This pretty much is the Ultra NES collection, so a lot of the Ultra games are present. A modded Game Boy Advance by 8-bit, which actually houses one of these ultra bright screens. That works pretty cool. Of course, oh, I need to. Oh, I'm not so good at origami, but yeah, this little thing. My Xbox 360 collection, which is not very large. I may actually enlarge that still, because they're pretty cheap. And my 2600 collection and Intellivision collection, which pretty much is all, and then a couple of boxes and some magazines and stuff, and an extra seat, a cuddly shark, and well, as you can see, the floor is not completely, oh yeah, and I still have to hang up those. These are, I may actually have to get different frames, but yeah, I really like these pieces of art, so I want to get different frames so that they fit the art more properly. But yeah, this is the game room, and yeah, it's just a small tour. It's not at its best state, but you know, I thought I won't clean up the game room. Just show it at a state in which it is actually usually present. So what is it? Yeah, the state in which it usually is. So yeah, basically sit on that couch. I often throw away that pillow. It's very nice for two-player gaming. I've hooked up two Xbox 360 controllers to the PC, and I have a ton of emulators on there. So sometimes it's quite a hassle to just fire up the PlayStation 2 or the NES or the SNES, or if I want to play Mega Drive or Genesis on the big screen, I just fire up Launchbox. And I actually am very keen on showing you that. I think there's a bit of flickering. That's because the frame rate of the camera and our mains differs. I believe our mains is at 50 Hertz, and that's also because of the lights being turned on. So this is my Launchbox setup. I'm not going to update just yet, but yeah, I've got all my PlayStation 2 games I've got imaged onto my hard drive. Not only my hard drive, but also put them on the NAS, because the emulator PCSX2 is has become quite compatible, and I've got a ton of I've basically got all my PlayStation 2 games I've got on the PC. Not everything runs as great, of course, but well, it's for the most part it's good enough for me. Convenient. I mean, I can turn on that system and run pretty much the same images, but sometimes it's just convenient also for grabbing stuff. So I've got 3DO, I've got emulated, I've got a couple of arcade games emulated, just the games that I regularly play. I could put in more, but for now it's just that. The Atari 2600 I've got emulated. I also have a flash card for the 2600, but yeah, as it resides over there, it is a video modded, composite video modded, but yeah, it's quite easy and convenient to play the games like this. Atari 5200 is there, Atari 7800, and we got Atari 800, basically the Atari 8-bit computer games. Not all the games are recognized, not a lot of images. Atari Jaguar. I've gotten quite a few games over there. There's this little stack. There's Doom, there's Checkered Flag, Raiden, Pinball, and quite a few others. I've got a lot of non-boxed Jaguar games. But yeah, Jaguar emulation is not the best, but it's on here as well. Then we got Atari Lynx. I also have an Atari Lynx. I think, yeah, over there's a gray little, there's a gray, not sure if you'll be able to tell, but there's a little case next to the magazines in the middle of the screen that houses my entire Lynx collection, cartridges and console. I'm able to emulate it. Atari ST, I'm able to emulate that as well. The BBC microcomputer system, yeah, I've got BBC Master, I've got BBC Model B, I've got an Acorn Electron, but sometimes it's just, it's just easy to just fire up an emulator. Of course, it's not the same, but I find it very comforting that an open source platform like the PC currently still is houses one of these front ends like Launchbox that allows you to play a ton of games. So all my ColecoVision games are imaged. Commodore 64 cartridge games. Not all the images are properly. So I may actually do a refresh of the images, for example. Still haven't done that. Commodore Plus 4, VIC-20 cartridge, Vectrex. Now Vectrex isn't emulated properly. I think it still needs a long way to go, but I have the original Vectrex in my other room. I may actually do a tour of that as well. Magnavox Odyssey 2, the video pack, so a ton of games. Some MS-DOS games, MSX games, and Neo Geo, Nintendo 64. So basically just for convenience, and it's the games that I already own. Nintendo DS, Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Famicom Disk System, Nintendo Game Boy, and Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo Super Game Boy, which is actually quite cool because that allows me to play Game Boy games that on the Super Game Boy. You can actually configure one of the emulators to emulate a SNES. Actually, it is the SNES that's being emulated, but you can also have the Super Game Boy enabled in that emulator. So basically, if I fire up Frogger, for example, let me see if that works. And I've clicked, right-clicked, so yeah, and then play. In my system, there's a ton of just regular old hard drives. So sometimes it takes a while for one of the drives to spin up. There's a ton of them in there. I believe about 6 drives or something. So it may take a while for the emulator to kick in, but there it is. So basically, it just shows you the same screen. Oh, this is actually the Super Game Boy 2, because it's a bit faster and more compatible. But yeah, it's basically what you would see if you play a Game Boy game on the SNES on the Super Game Boy. So yeah, very, very convenient. Virtual Boy. I don't own the system, so this basically is one of the more illegal emulator collections. The Wii U and the Wii. So and the Wii U. Just a couple of games these run, and these are great. Some PC games, actually the Steam and Steam games, and the games that you have on your system. Basically, you can import and you can run them from this. This is not my entire Steam collection, but it's cool to have them in there. Sega 32X, I've got quite a few games actually in the attic. I haven't installed them over here, basically because my 32X is a bit sickly, so I have the games on the PC. Sega CD, Sega Dreamcast, Sega Game Gear, Sega Genesis, and Sega Master System. Those pretty much are perfect emulators. The Sega Saturn, not so much. It's a very complicated machine. So the Sinclair Spectrum, quite a few games. Sony PlayStation. The Sony PlayStation 2, I already showed those. Sony PlayStation Portable, I've got quite a few games. And then we have the Super Nintendo, the TurboGrafx 16, and the WonderSwan, and the WonderSwan Color. Now, of course, there's a ton more platforms that can actually be important. I see that I haven't imported any Amstrad CPC. I should, because it's a very great system that is currently in the attic in in one of the shelves. But yeah, you know, I think emulation is a good way to preserve. And have convenient ease of access. You know, you just put your PC on 2 monitors, and yeah, hook them up over the stereo, and use either 360 controllers or Xbox One controllers or PlayStation 4 controllers or whatever controller, Logitech controllers. Basically, you'll be able to play a lot of the classics. Yeah, using one of these launchbox launchers basically has all the games conveniently in one location. So I'm a big advocate of types of using a computer like that, just to have everything accessible, because this setup, it will not last forever, all these older games in CRT. So I tend to be very, how do you say that, very protective of them. If I can avoid turning on my GameCube, I might, you know, I'll just run it on the PC. I've gotten a few spares of every console, or of a lot of the consoles, but yeah, I see it as a way of preserving the systems, you know, save them from a bit of wear and tear, and perhaps it's something that is unavoidable, but yeah. Okay, so this concludes my my room tour. I may actually do a room tour of the study at some point, because that also contains quite a few gaming paraphernalia. But yeah, you guys probably have seen other room tour videos before, and you know, it's not changed that much. I'm pretty much complete when it comes to usable space. There's quite a few games that I may not play on a very regular basis, but yeah, this is just part of my collection. I have got a collection in the garage and in the attic that I may actually have to show if I want to show off my collection, but this is pretty much my my game room. And I've got a very nice little cozy room. Now this room, I'm sitting quite close to the TV. This is the extent of my leg, and I'm almost touching it. I think I'm about 5 inches away from that that ridge over there. Yeah, it's too close actually for the Kinect to work. So it is also too close and too cramped for any of the VR, the moving HTC VR experiences to work. So yeah, a sit-down VR experiences will work. So with the PlayStation 4, I may actually go VR, or I'll hook up a VR set on this PC, and it has a ton of outputs. So I will be able to use one of the outputs to house the VR system on. It has a 1060 GTX Strix video card that is capable of VR. So yeah, I may actually jump into VR. I've actually saved up enough money to actually buy one. Either the PlayStation VR, because I have to get a camera and stuff, or the PC VR, and I'm still not quite certain which one I should get. I think getting VR games on the PC cheap is a lot easier, will be a lot easier than on the PlayStation VR thing. Both, I think the PlayStation VR still needs to be released. I think yeah, perhaps it has been released. I'm not sure. October, I believe, and it's the 23rd of October. Or no, September. It's October, so next month, I think. Yeah, I'm still not sure. I mean, I love the idea of VR, and I could actually enjoy playing VR games over here. I could also hook up a VR set in the games room, in the study, if I do an Oculus. Because the system back there is also quite capable. It's actually identical to this system, only that it has a 1070 GTX Strix Asus graphics card. Also very capable of, and it has my 3-screen setup. I'm not sure. I really am not sure what to do, but I feel the pull of VR. I really feel it, and there's a ton of nice little experiences, so I'm not sure. I almost went out and got an Oculus today, but I'm protected against that because I have to stay home today because a painter is actually painting the outside of our house. I'm not sure if you can see, but the moon is actually glancing in. That's the moon over there. It's a very nice moon. It was a very bright moon. It's only half full, exactly half full. But last evening, it was very clear, and it actually was burning holes in our retinas last night. So we actually had to close the curtains when we slept. But yeah, I have to stay home, so I won't be able to. Well, I might actually go out this afternoon and get myself an Oculus if they are available on the shelves. I have to see if that's possible because I don't know, I'm not sure, but I really feel the pull of VR. So yeah, call me crazy. Okay, Mark signing off, and I'll be back with another video in a bit.